What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the show. We've got a quick one today. There's not too much going on in the MMA world, but we're going to be going over Herb Dean responding to Joe Rogan's comments and then also to the betting scandal accusation comments of TJ Dillashaw along with other people on YouTube. And then we're going to be going over into Dana White reveals a new settlement that he has offered in the Lee lawsuit. Guys, if you remember that, a judge rejected their UFC's $335 million offer, settled the lawsuit like $1 billion lawsuit that not only wanted more money, it wanted more oversights and changes to how the UFC pays their fighters in a more fair, like exclusive way or inclusive way. The judge said, hey, I reject the offer, even though everyone else accepted the $335 million to wipe all that underneath the table. We'll turn around. I reject it. I want to see either more money or more changes in how y'all pay y'all's fighters. So with that, let's go ahead and click play on the Herb Dean responding.
Herb Dean shuts down Joe Rogan's comments on UFC 306. In the UFC 306 main event, Herb Dean came under fire as members of the MMA community criticized him for his role in the Sean O'Malley-Merab Dvalishvili bout. Specifically, Joe Rogan, who was in the commentary booth for the event, criticized Dean at various points throughout the broadcast when the veteran official called on the fighters to stay active. During an interview with Helen Yee this week, Herb Dean shared his side of the situation and explained why he was telling O'Malley and Dvalishvili to stay active even on the feet. I've seen on social media people have spoken on me about calling the fighters to do more action, and that's what I've always done. I can tell you what I tell fighters in the rules briefing. I tell them anytime that I'm going to have an intervention, I'm going to talk to you first. If I'm going to stand you up, I'm going to say, let's work, or I'll clap. That means that what I'm expecting is not busy work. I'm looking for effort to finish the fight.
BuzzBrands offers a wide variety of high-quality, low-cost, and low-dose THC options. It's made for the functional person who uses THC, whether it's to enhance life, for pain, or for mood. They have energy drinks, my personal favorite, gummies, shots, and ice creams, guys. Whenever you make a purchase, enter Bear in the notes. What does that even make sense to finish the fight? So a couple of times when Herb Dean was calling, what Joe Rogan really didn't like was when Merab was on top of O'Malley. He had top control, and he was staying busy by trying to move around or, to get to a full mount or to change a full mount a couple of times. He tried setting up like a crucifix, but he was staying busy, throwing punches on the ground and things like that. And Herb Dean was like, guys, stay busy. And I'm like, Merab is busy. O'Malley's over here trying to either, defend something or try to do a submission attempt from his back, and it was just crazy that Herb Dean was saying, guys, get busy. And right there he said he's looking for them to try to finish the fight. Herb Dean, the majority of fighters are not trying to finish the fight. They're trying to win every single round, and at the end of the fight, hopefully they've accumulated enough rounds that they win the fight. I know we've sensationalized and knockouts, crazy submissions, and things like that, but the truth is the majority of fights in the professional and amateur level do not end in finishes. It is a huge majority that does not end in finishes and goes to decision, meaning it is the judge's decision who wins the fight. And so it's funny that Herb Dean's like, oh, get busy. Now, comment down below. Do you think Herb Dean, was in on this betting scandal or these accusations? Do they have any validity? Dillashaw was on the podcast, I think the Jackson podcast with Rampage and all them, saying, hey, it's a betting scandal. He was clearly on Merab's side. If he was clearly on Merab's side, then why did he tell O'Malley to take the fingers out Merab's gloves? He did that like 2 separate times and literally completely paused them, got O'Malley to get his fingers out, warned him, and repositioned him. So, also, the end of the fight, the 5th round, about 30 seconds in, O'Malley throws a teep to the body, obviously to the body. It hurts Merab bad. He can't hide it. It is hurting him. Herb Dean's like, guys, get busy. Merab's over here injured. O'Malley's over here, hey, I just threw a teep, I got him hurt, but my hip was torn, so I can't open up my hands, but I'm scared to throw another kick because the takedown threat is there. These guys just had a 5-round war, and now they're having a puzzle chess match the last 30 seconds, and Herb Dean's like, come on, guys, let's work. And so, yeah, it really took away a lot of the fight. It annoyed the hell out of me. I don't think he's in a betting scandal or accusation, but it was definitely something that was pretty freaking annoying to me. But with that, let's go ahead and get into the Dana White settlement.
UFC revealed that they came to a revised agreement with the plaintiffs in their Lee class action lawsuit. The original agreement for $335 million was denied by the judge. Now, the UFC are offering $375 million, hoping that the extra $40 million will finally make the judge accept the offer. The UFC said in a statement, "We have reached a revised agreement with plaintiffs to settle the Lee case with terms that we believe address Judge Boulware's stated concerns. While we believe the original settlement was fair, a sentiment that was also shared by plaintiffs, we feel it's in the best interest of all parties to bring this litigation to a close." Top comments. Patty versus Moicano on...
What do y'all think about that? So remember, this judge rejected the UFC's offer because it wasn't enough financially and they had no changes to their payment structure internally. So the judge was like, hey, I need to see something way, way, way more enticing than $335 million. And I know to some people, and even to me, man, $40 million is an assload of money. It's an insane amount of money. But in terms of when they're wanting like $1 billion in complete reforming of the freaking pay grade and pay structure and how the UFC pays their athletes, I mean, $335 million versus $40 million on top of that. I mean, it's a drop in the bucket, especially for the UFC. And the UFC, it's not like they're like this. It's a drop in the bucket based off of their value, but as you know, their value is not cash worth, and their cash flow, I think, like looking at their last year books, because everything's publicly traded, they only had a little bit over of like a quarter of a billion, so like $250-ish million in liquid in their money market accounts, and that was last year when I was reading their financials, and so it's like they're not like this cash-rich company. And remember, they just had like another $35 million loss on their books, and what is it? So it's their, you know, it's Q4 right now, but it's like they just put on like a $35 million loss on their Q4, so I know that really can't be good whatsoever, and at least because I think we're out of September. No, we're not! Oh my gosh, guys, it is not Q4. My apologies. So, with that though, they just lost $35 million. They're not cash rich. $40 million is a lot to the UFC. It really hurts them because you know they're going to have to get a loan and run on credit and keep paying that. It's not like they're this forever rich company. Pay-per-views are going down. Streaming is going up. That is just the reality of it. And the UFC couldn't even sell their $20,000 tickets at Noche. Even though they got the highest gate price, they had to slash ticket prices down 80%. So, the judge is not going to accept this. I'm telling you right now, they're not going to accept $40 million more. I can see the judge accepting $100 million more and maybe some changes to fight pay. But really, if they're not throwing... I just don't see how $40 million is going to hedge versus the $335 million the judge already said no to, guys. Not too much going on this week, guys. Leaving it here. Hopefully it was somewhat entertaining. I have to throw something on here to entertain the algorithm, but I'm telling you, it is dry right now, at least today. There'll be some more stuff going on this weekend, so I'll have some great videos coming out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday next week. Give me a like, give me a subscribe if you got any entertainment out of me just continuing the conversation and not just listening to a robot voice giving the news, just a real person talking about it more. Love y'all. I'm out. Peace.